Virgo, this is like my fourth attempt at reading for you. So that definitely means something. Okay, so in the overall theme, I'm kind of getting that I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of coming through as like, oh shoot, like I should have paid attention to my intuition. Yeah. So I'm looking at why you are not really listening to your intuition right now. Okay, it's coming through as like wanting to believe a lie or like insisting. Okay. How do you say that? I'm hearing like die hard lie or something like that, but like the idea is like you're like deny, deny, deny. Like you want to take this to the grave, like whatever this is. Your intuition wants you to accept this is coming through as like, and you know, it could be flipped, but however, this person denying the thing, their intuition is trying to tell them to accept this thing that has been called out as having been called out. I'm hearing kicking up dirt as far as like, you know, the future ahead, as you know, you continue on this path of ignoring your intuition. Like your intuition is trying to tell you to see this thing as having been called out so that you are not in a position of, I'm hearing obviously kicking up dirt. I'm looking at the Fool card, and the Fool in this deck, which is the Golden Tarot, is kind of portrayed with like a drum, it looks like. And it's like she's like not really like banging on the drum. She's just kind of like, I don't know. Like, I mean, look. She's like, and that's coming through to me as like not having enough pride in this situation to, not having enough pride in your stance, or rather having so little pride in this stance that it becomes obvious that you don't even believe the thing that you are sort of preaching. I saw the Ace of Pentacles with the Two of Cups, or excuse me, Ace of Pentacles reversed with the Two of Cups. So this, I mean, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse is typically, I mean, at face value, it tells me that there's some kind of a missed opportunity, a loss of some kind, a loss of potential specifically. And with the Two of Cups, it's like a connection. It doesn't have to be like romantic, but I mean, maybe for some you're like losing potential clients with like your interesting. I'm hearing surface emotions. But I'm looking at the King of Cups with the Queen of Pentacles in reversed. So it's like, whatever this like thing that you want to connect with is, could be a person again, or like clients or work opportunities, whatever it is. This mask of the King of Cups is sort of not going to do its job anymore of like covering this like what is going to be understood as a true motive. Of selfish gain. It could literally be like financial gain, or just like there's something in it for you. And your intuition is telling you that if you don't acknowledge, first of all, that you are doing, you know, preaching something because of what you have to gain from that mantra, or other people buying into that mantra, people are going to see through this like this front that like you do this work because you really care, you know. With the, it looks like there's an arrow in his chest, so kind of like wanting to embody this like, you know, energy of like a martyr, like, you know. And it's, you know, and I think this, the sad thing about that, I think where the potential is lost is when you actually do get to a point where you inevitably come to meet this shadow, because you lose clients or you lose whatever, and you want to actually come around and embody this like King of Cups energy, people might just remember this, that they're about to see, that your intuition is trying to like pull you away from, and not even trust it. You know what I mean? It's a little bit like the boy who cries wolf kind of thing. Like, not to say that you're crying wolf, but people stopped believing that what that boy was saying. Okay, so okay, yeah. So I think it's like maybe this has been going on for so long now that like you really don't have it in you to own this sort of deceptive energy. Yeah, I'm seeing this like goose and the Magician reversed. So it's like really like, it's like you don't want to be like seen as a fool or like, someone who can't be taken seriously because you maybe weren't totally honest about something, or because of something that you aren't being honest about because it would make you not be taken seriously. Um, that is coming up anyway, just in a different form. But at least, if you were to own and recognize that that was foolish, that would make people realize, like, okay, like, there is a recognition that that was foolish. Whereas if people kind of come to this conclusion on their own, they're like, wow, so you don't even want to own it. You know what I mean? I just saw a flash of the Tower in reverse. So, like, there is this feeling of, like, delaying the inevitable here. I mean, this is pretty straight to the point as far as, like, what you need to do. I think it's really just like a decision you have to make. Because like the saving face thing with the mask, it's not sustainable. So you kind of, this reading is giving you the opportunity to deliver this truth that's going to come out in a way that reflects your potential in the future. So in a way that reflects who you are willing to become by way of making this mistake, or to let people decide on what that potential is based on this, like this King of Cups with the mask thing, like, excuse me, Queen of Pentacles reversed with the mask. Okay, I'm hearing this. I'm looking at the Hanged Man with the Two of Wands reversed and the Star. And what I'm getting from this is that healing takes risk and healing takes vulnerability. So like you're not going to reach that potential that like you want to believe that you have by just hoping that the shadow just kind of like dissipates. It's not going to. You have to look at it and integrate it with the light. Like, bring light to it so that you can do that effectively. But there is no such thing as healing without vulnerability. Yeah. I mean, when you just look at it like on the surface, like, yeah, who wants to like invest time into pain, like who wants to invest energy into pain? It almost feels counterintuitive in that by drawing light to this thing, you know, you'll be tarnishing this like image of yourself that maybe you created or that you want other people to see in you. But people respect that. And what are you going to do with an image of yourself? That's not how you move through life based on an image. You move through life through experiences and you know, through connecting with your willpower, by acting on your willpower, by pushing the boundaries of your willpower. When you feel a will to do something, you do it, and you do it with your entire being. And an image doesn't have any of that. It's a portrayal of that. So what I'm getting is sort of like, it's been so long since you've embodied that like, you don't even know what the image you're painting is anymore. And I think that's when you like kind of, you run in, you meet people and you're like, you know, who like, I'm not saying this is you, but when you meet people who like are so deep in a front that they almost don't even seem to be aware of how obvious it is that they're coming off as having a front. I don't know. I mean, so you can always take control over your life, but by leading with this image for so long, I'm kind of getting that I mean, whoever you're dealing with is like kind of already, they don't care to sit here and figure it out. Like, they can tell something's off, and I kind of see that they're over it. – Um, but, I think that this is still insightful in that maybe as all of this goes down, you at least know where you went wrong. It wasn't, I'm hearing a hole in your lie. It wasn't like a hole in your story. It's that it was a story, and that people recognize that, especially people who are rooted in their own values and beliefs, like strongly enough or strongly. There's like a contrast. They can immediately tell when someone is not, right? So this is kind of like a prompt, as I see it, to take control of the direction that your life goes in and kind of what experiences you manifest by being willing to take that risk for your healing. You know, that was one of the first things I noticed when I started doing shadow work, is like I realized like that I was like letting life happen to me by not controlling the things that I can, which is how you react, how you behave, the things that you do. Taking accountability is the key to controlling your life in the ways that you can. You obviously can't foresee everything, and but it's at least when you're being accountable for what you can control, like you can sleep at night knowing that you did do everything that you could do to make your life the way that you want it to be. So it was kind of dark and heavy, and I wish that I had more, but I guess it's exciting in that making the decision to challenge the fear of making yourself vulnerable enough to do shadow work and become the person that you are displaying, right? But like actually behind the mask. It's an exciting time because shadow work is the key to life. It's just very helpful. So I'm rooting for you, and I hope that if nothing else, if you lose this opportunity or whatever, that you at least understand why, and that you can look forward with optimism, and knowing like, okay, there's stuff I can be doing to manifest better for myself that I'm not doing yet, and do that. So, September.